Hello, class. Welcome to Social and Cultural History of the United States, History 118. And this is an online class. I'm a professor, Dr. Mike Jimenez. And this video, I am just going to briefly go over just kind of the main assignments of the course. So, first week is generally kind of get your feet wet type of stuff. And so, there's just basically an autobiography you're doing and a icebreaker assignment that you'll see in the first module. So let's start there, and then we'll jump back to the syllabus. So the home page of the course is a module page. This will be pretty much what you'll need all semester. You might glance back at the syllabus, but that's about it. And even that'll be found here on the home page. Um, so through here, you'll see this first module that has some intro stuff that I'd like you to take a look at. And then here you can see you have your first week, which covers the autobiography. That's the first thing you're going to take care of. And then from that point on, you'll see each week has a module with some assignments to do. So basically, every Monday morning, there'll be a new set of assignments to do, like as you saw that discussion post. So let me break down the course assignments. So definitely the other thing to do in the first week is to thumb through the syllabus. Here are the textbooks and here are the assignments. You're going to need 2 textbooks for sure pretty soon. Frankly, after the basically once the first week starts, you need to have these books to get going. They are Joseph Ellis's Founding Brothers, and this is about the founding fathers of the United States. And then Ronald Takaki's A Different Mirror, which is going to be the main textbook of the course. Finally, you will need to pick one of the following books, either Reina Grande's The Distance Between Us or Laila Lalami's Conditional Citizens, which is pretty much a brand new book. So you got to pick one of those. That'll be for task 2, the essay. So let's take a quick look at the assignments now, and then I'll give you a glance at the books in case you haven't ordered those yet. The assignments are 2 exams, midterm and a final. An essay, which that will be used, as I just mentioned, on one of the books you choose. Discussion posts, and there will be about 10 of those all semester. 2 quizzes, and the quizzes are basically you watch a movie, you take a quiz, and the quiz is about 5 questions. So it'll be 2 weeks where you're going to watch a film and then take a quiz after the movie. And finally, is an extra credit that you can use. There'll be 2 types of extra credit. One is the 10-point extra credit, which is a virtual museum trip, where you record either a video or an audio response to the trip, and the other one is going to be a makeup discussion post. So the extra credit and the makeup discussion post, they'll be due at the end of the semester, but you have all semester available to turn it in. So in other words, literally the first week of class, if you wanted to do the virtual field trip, museum trip, extra credit that's worth 10 points, you could get that done. And there you have 10 basically insurance points. Same thing with the makeup discussion post. It'll be available soon after the semester begins, and you have all semester to turn that in until the last week. So the last week is the week of the final, and I can flip down here at the schedule in the back of the syllabus. You can see here, last week of the final, all you gotta do is take the final. But the week before, the last week of May, that's where the extra credit and stuff is due. So, and there's no, once that due date passes, there's no makeups or no late assignments accepted for discussion posts, which is one reason why I gave the extra credit. Extra credit for the museum, the extra credit for the makeup discussion post. It serves the way in case you have a bad week and you miss a discussion post, or you do kind of, you forgot to take the, the midterm exam, or just had a hard time with the exam. Maybe history's not your cup of tea. Those are insurance points. You don't have to do the extra credit. As I mentioned, it's available all semester, but it does help prevent you falling behind and then trying to like contact me to turn in late discussion posts and stuff like that. I don't take late discussion posts. Once they're done, they're done. The only assignment I really take in late will be the task two, the essay you're writing about the one of the books you choose, and basically the history that we're going over in the class, the cultural history. That's the only thing I take a week late at half credit. So it's up to you whether you want to turn in late, but that's the only thing I take late. I will keep exams open if I get really good. A clear example of an emergency that um, conflicts with the due date. Generally speaking, though, what I do with the exams is these exams are relatively short. They're about 20 questions each, the midterm and the final. They'll cover stuff from Takaki's textbook, basically, each exam, and stuff on the lectures that I'm going to be posting week after week. Um, there is a midterm and final study guide in the process that will be posted shortly on Canvas. So I will have that posted early enough that you can keep tabs on it once we start moving into course material starting next week, the second week of the course. Um, so the exams, by the way, are multiple choice true false questions. So you're gonna have 20 questions on each exam, midterms at the 8th week, and the final is the last week of the course. And the final is not cumulative, as you can see there in the on the syllabus. Um, I will post another video about the essay later on the semester when we start pushing to the later date. Let me just say, if you go to the bookstore, so the Founding Brothers text by Joseph Ellis is relatively cheap, as is Takaki's book. So both of these books, your main textbooks, are about $20. The other two books that you get to choose one or the other, um, they're also relatively cheap for textbooks. You won't need those till a little later in the semester, the optional ones, but that is gonna you'll be reading those as a sort of memoir and a jumping off point to talk about basically the contributions of people to social and cultural American history. As I mentioned, I'll go deeper into the why of the or the how, the why of the basic schematics of the essay you're writing. But I do, if you look at the schedule on your syllabus, you go down there real quick. Um, I do give you a free week to just dive in and read those books. You get to choose one or the other. What I would do is just Google search, Amazon search, whatever, either the authors, either the books. As I mentioned, Lalami's book is brand new. Grande's book is relatively, it's not that old. And you could choose what you'd rather read about, dive into, and use as a jumping off point for your paper. All right. So that's the books, or those. Like I said, you want to definitely get Ellis and Takaki ASAP. As soon as possible, you want to have those books. Yeah, so what else do I need to talk about? That's the schedule. So discussion posts. There are 10 of these. So in this class, I'm giving them pretty frequently. A lot of these, though, just to be honest with you, because it's a social cultural um, history class of the U.S. What I do is my lectures kind of go over the general history of the United States at a pretty brisk speed. We're literally covering 200 plus years of U.S. history, but the discussion post a lot of times will like dive into some of the social and cultural history of the U.S. So you'll get kind of like the overview of U.S. history, and then we'll Takaki is a good jumping into point to talk about some of the social cultural stuff that happens. And so when I mean social cultural, we're talking, literature, music, poetry, movies, obviously some politics as well. But it's kind of a opportunity to do a fun history. Um, as you might have seen, one of the weeks is just going into one of the subjects I'm interested in is Johnny Cash and kind of like 1960s activism. So you'll be able to watch a couple documentaries and read some pieces on his work on prison reform and Native American activism and stuff like that. So these are obviously stuff that's in our U.S. public today. Big social, cultural, political points, and we use history to kind of look at example of a celebrity using his clout to raise awareness about it. All right, so as I mentioned, 2 exams, midterm final, an essay, a number of discussion posts, and then 2 movie quizzes. And then finally, you have the extra credit opportunity. All right. So real quick, let's take a quick glance at Canvas, so you can kind of see, what it looks like. As I mentioned, what you'll see is week 1. There'll be right now it is really like get your feet wet, just post about yourself. Um, you'll have a few things you have to read. I think the intro to Takaki, and they have one essay, and the essay will help you basically think about write about yourself, about your family, about your own social cultural framework, whether you're in the United States or not. So that's there's also an icebreaker question there as well, and then we start getting into week after week different topics. All right. Um, that's it for me then. If you have any questions, my contact information is on the syllabus and here in on Canvas. And let's hope we have a great semester and a great class.